He scored more goals than any man in the history of football, ball after ball hitting the back of the net. He broke records nobody thought was possible, smashing through goal counts one by one on a giant scoreboard. Stadiums went silent, then exploded, fans jumping out of their seats screaming. For 20 years, he sprinted past defenders like they were standing still. And now, he's sitting alone on a bench watching his teammates celebrate a goal without him. This is the end of Cristiano Ronaldo, and nobody wants to admit it. While other players partied that night, Ronaldo was alone in the gym at midnight, lifting weights under a single light. He climbed into a cryo chamber, steam rising around him, gritting his teeth against the cold. He weighed his food on a scale before every meal, pushing dessert away untouched. He trained sprint after sprint on an empty pitch long after everyone else went home. And it worked. Trophies lined up one after another on a shelf. 5 Ballon d'Or statues in a row. For a decade, he ran faster than defenders half his age, laughing as they gasped for breath behind him. But one day, he pulled up mid-sprint, grabbing his leg, collapsing onto the grass. Manchester United 2021. Fans packed into Old Trafford, waving his shirt in the stands. He scored on his return, ripping his shirt off, roaring at the crowd. But weeks later, he sat slumped on the bench, arms crossed, staring blankly at the pitch while his manager ignored him. He stormed down the tunnel after a match, slamming the door behind him. Then he sat across from an interviewer, jaw tight, pointing a finger as he spoke about betrayal. Days later, he cleaned out his locker alone, packing his boots into a bag in silence. He walked out in a full suit, taking his seat on the bench instead of the pitch. He watched his teammates score without him, clapping stiffly, jaw clenched. Cameras caught him wiping his face as he walked down the tunnel alone, head down. Portugal's players celebrated in a huddle on the pitch without him in the frame. He landed at a new stadium, cameras flashing, fans in yellow jerseys screaming his name. He signed a massive contract, holding up a new jersey with a giant smile for the cameras. He kept scoring goal after goal, but the stands around him were half empty. Back in Europe, a Champions League stadium roared under bright lights without him anywhere in sight. Side by side on a split screen, one man lifts a golden trophy, the other stands empty-handed on the sideline. Messi lifted the World Cup trophy above his head, teammates hoisting him onto their shoulders. Ronaldo watched the celebration from a TV screen, arms folded, expression unreadable. He trained alone on an empty pitch at sunset, running sprints with nobody watching. He looked at a calendar, circling 2026 with a marker, determination on his face. He sat on a bench again, head down, hands clasped, the stadium lights fading around him. One last World Cup. One last chance. At 41, Cristiano Ronaldo walked out, chasing the only trophy that's ever escaped him. It didn't start well. A 1-1 draw against DR Congo. 2 clear chances, 2 misses. The critics were already circling. Then came the response. Uzbekistan, torn apart 5-0. Ronaldo scored twice and made history. The first man ever to score at 6 different World Cups. A quiet 0-0 with Colombia sealed Portugal's spot in the knockouts, but only as runners-up. Waiting for them? Their fiercest rivals, Spain. For 90 minutes, nothing separated them. Ronaldo denied twice by Unai Simon. Nuno Mendes crashing one off the crossbar. Both teams holding their breath. Then, the 91st minute. Spain's bench delivered the blow. Ferran Torres, Mikel Merino, one clinical finish low into the corner. 1-0. Full time. And just like that, Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup story, 20 years, 6 tournaments, 11 goals, came to an end.